Football is a 20th century technological struggle.
And what I seen was this whole raft of people a-setting on these two banks and looking at one another across this pretty little green cow pasture.
Football has hitting, clipping, spearing, blocking, punting, late hitting, unnecessary roughness, and personal fouls.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stanley County Monday Night Football. Charles Curcio, Stanley News and Press, Brian Carter Video Services, joined tonight by Marty Walter. Marty, we got a big game tonight.
A real big game here for the conference title, conference first place in Yadkin Valley Conference. We're going to have a great ball game. A little wet, but hey, it was wet on both.
Well, it's rained a little. We haven't had any more rain so far. The surface is a little slick, but it's really not completely affected yet, I don't think.
That's correct. I don't think the wet balls, I don't think these teams pass as much, so it's all running. The footing may be a little bit slippery, but give them guys time to find out what to do.
South Stanley and North Stanley. It doesn't get bigger. It's a rivalry of all sorts. So much on the line tonight. We'll be back with the coaches on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Here we go. We're on the pregame show on Stanley County Monday Night Football with South Stanley head coach Ryan Oxter. Coach, you guys have had a terrific season, 7-3 coming in tonight. Obviously, motivation not a factor coming in. There's just so much on the line for you guys. What has the mood of this team been like this week?
It's been a great week of practice. I just kept telling them everything, all the implications to come onto this game. We got the playoff implications. We got Stanley Cup implications. We've got home playoff game, which South Stanley has not talked about in a long time. Yeah. Even the conference championship implications, which we have not talked about in a long time. And I told him, I was like, we're in the perfect position because we control our own destiny.
Absolutely.
And everything we do is going to be determined by what we do on the field.
These two teams, I think, are very similar. Both have size, both have speed, and both like to run the football in sort of similar ways.
Yeah, it could be a very fast game tonight on the clock because that clock's going to be moving. I think it might come down to who has the ball last. It really could come down to that. Like you said, we do match up well. They've got size up front. We've got size up front. They've got speed in the back. We've got speed in the back. Neither one of us like to pass. I think they pass it maybe 5 times more than we do a game.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a fast clock tonight.
What do you feel like are the biggest factors for South Stanley to get a win tonight?
We've got to control the game. We've got to control the ball. The more we can control the ball in the clock and keep the ball out of their weapons on offense, we're going to be successful.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll be back with North Stanley head coach Scott Crisco. Back here on the pregame show on Stanley County Monday Night Football with North Stanley head coach Scott Crisco. Coach, huge game for you guys tonight. As I told Coach Oxter just a second ago, both teams are similar to me in terms of what they want to do, in terms of having size and having speed.
Right, yeah. I think both of us want to get the ground game going first. Of course, South's got that dynamic quarterback who can move, is elusive. We got to contain him. We don't see many quarterbacks that are elusive in this conference. So yeah, we've spent a lot of time this week preparing for that.
Talk a little bit about offensively, trying to find the balance, between the two running backs. I think you've found it. If you look at the stats are really right there. And finding that passing game, all of that has just seemed to develop as this season has progressed.
Yeah, and like I guess most teams, the passing game is the last one to develop in the season, and it's starting to come around now. Our receivers are getting comfortable. Our quarterbacks getting comfortable. Receivers, of course, you got two running backs who's got over close to 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
We have a luxury there, and we try to utilize that as much as we can.
And I know the mood of this team has to be excited about this game tonight, but they've been in a lot of big games like this before.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. I said, this is another big game. This is as important as the last game last week because our motto is every game is important because it's the next game. This one is because the last of the season, and we got something to fight for. We don't want to share this title. We want it outright, which I'm sure they do too.
Keys to a victory tonight for North Stanley?
With the grass being wet, ball control, holding on to the ball. I think it's going to come down to defense this week.
Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck tonight. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, Marty, what are your impressions from our pregame show and some of the coaches' comments?
Coaches talked about ball control, running game, very important tonight. Keep the ball, keep it away from the other guys. The offensive and defensive lines are going to have a lot to do tonight in this sloppy field.
I honestly think the first team that really has to pass and can do it effectively is going to have to effective in this game is going to be the team that wins.
Well, like the North Stanley coach said, their passing attack come in later in the year. South Stanley's got a quarterback that can pass when he needs to, so it can still be up in the air.
And just like it is every week, I think turnovers, whoever makes the biggest mistakes, and with this wet field, it makes ball control and ball security even more important.
The greatest thing of all, the ball control. And it's going to take it. It's going to take it.
Well, we'll be right back with the kickoff. If it doesn't get bigger than this, I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Let's do this. We'll be back with the kickoff on Monday Night Football.
We make the right call. The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of the players, coaches, and spectators can result in lifelong memories. The next time you...
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stanley County Monday Night Football. Charles Curcio, Stanley News and Press, and Brian Carter of Carter Video Services. And our special guest announcer tonight, Mr. Marty Walter. Marty, how are you?
Thank you, Charles. Doing great. Great weather here tonight. We're going to have a great ball game. Everything's going to come out fine. Right now, the captains are meeting in the middle of the field. So we're going to play some football here in just a few minutes.
But one thing I noticed right away, and I have to point it out, is look what C.J. Clark is wearing.
He is number 52.
52, indeed. And he is not wearing wearing just his football uniform. Obviously, he is out for this game.
Oh, that could make a difference.
And that is to say that C.J. Clark is a difference maker is understating the fact.
Well, I haven't seen North Stanley this year, but I've heard reports of them. Running team, they do a little bit of passing. Like the coaches said earlier, we're going to have a ball game, but it's going to be under ball control.
South Stanley's won the toss. They're going to move left to right across your TV screen to start with, and we'll have the football to start with. So that means North Stanley will get it in the third quarter. As the Comet fans rise to the feet, as the Comets walk through the crowd, one of their newer traditions that they've done just the last couple of years. This is such a huge game. Not only does it have conference implications, that Stanley Cup is on the line. And anyway, this is a statement game for either team. I think this is this is a game that you have to make a statement in moving forward for the playoffs. Here come the Rebel Bulls.
Waving the American flag.
And there again, both teams on the line, conference title, playoff implications, as far as state playoffs are concerned. This ball game could go either way. They're both set and ready to go. It's going to be a great ball game.
South Stanley has taken the field. North Stanley is about to, but we have not had a national anthem as of yet. So we are waiting for. We're actually, Brian, you want to tape tonight, so we're going to try to get as our last regular season broadcast, try to show you the musical stylings of some of the North Stanley.
And that should be forthcoming, Charles, as the Comets take off their helmets.
All right, we're going to take a quick pause, and we will go ahead, Brian, and we will tape our tonight's national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight our national anthem will be sung by Miss Jasmine Henry, Elise Hudson, Melissa Shank, and Maverick Whitley, our quartet from Mrs. Hudson's chorus class. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, remove your hats, face our West End zone and our flag as we salute our country tonight with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem tonight. We'll be back with the kickoff on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Back on Stanley County Monday Night Football, Charles Curcio, Marty Walter, and Mr. Brian Carter. We are waiting the entrance of the North Stanley Comets.
And here they
First
come.
place in the Yadkin Valley Conference, 8-2 overall, undefeated in conference play.
Doing that deliberate walk.
Needing a win tonight. Yeah, this is a statement, most definitely.
They didn't go running through. It was a methodical walk through.
C.J. Clark wearing the turnover chain. I believe they've got a turnover chain a la the U. Oh. Which I love very much, of course.
Now, is he going to play
Those
in
of
that?
you knowing that I'm a big old fan of the Canes. No, he's not playing. That's the point, Brian, I believe.
He's going to hold it for a while until somebody gets
Till somebody gets one, exactly. North Stanley will be kicking this off. Of course, Addison Cord, who we saw earlier in the season, Brian, out for the year with a knee injury. Levi Oliver is going to be doing the kicking.
So 2 big injuries on North Stanley's side.
Really is.
I know Tony Lofton's back to full strength for South. Chris Mayo is also back after being out a week. And I don't know of any others right off the top of my head that's impact players for South that are missing right now. So here we go.
This one for all the marbles. South Stanley, North Stanley, let's roll.
Nice kick.
Lofton will take it at the 5. Got a little room on the outside, and it closes quickly around the 20. I believe Carter Terry was in there along with L.J. Rush.
Carter Terry, he was our player of the week not too long ago. Our last North Stanley game.
That's correct. So it'll be 1st and 10. South Stanley on about their own 22-yard line. We're going to spot the ball. We're going to start there and see what we got.
Starting quarterback, of course, is Jaquez Cook. Chris Mayo is back this week after missing last week's game with a injury.
Power run up the middle.
Mayo right up the middle.
And not a whole lot of room. Maybe a gain of a couple.
Number 15, Mayo on the carry for the Rebels.
Gain of 2 on the 2nd down and 8.
Pickup of about 2.
Old mascots die hard, obviously, with our PA announcer. I believe that's CJ. Chris going there. And of course, South Stanley now known as the Rowdy Rebel Bulls.
Yeah,
Yes.
That took a while to get used to that.
Yes, it did. So 2 in the backfield now for South.
Davis Moose is the other, a blocking back. And it's going to be straight up the middle. Garrett Clark and number 50 for North Stanley, Kevon McCray on the tackle.
So he gets up to the 29-yard line and bring up a 3rd down. And let's call it about
4 maybe.
You know, South Stanley runs kind of it looks like a modern offense, but it's really more of an old school, just kind of student body left, student body right. I mean, it's not fancy.
It's not fancy. It's old school, hard-nosed football. So long third down. Here we go.
Quez is going to keep it on a bootleg left. Gets by one tackler. He's got a first down and just squirts through down to the 39. He was stopped initially, but good second effort.
Second effort puts him up to the 39-yard line for South Stanley first down.
I tell you, Jaquez Cook, he's a dangerous runner.
And he gives you that RPO. He gives you that run pass option. You have to respect his arm. You have to respect his legs. So you can't cheat either way.
That's correct.
And that's what makes South.
Running defenses over the years has always counted out the quarterback as far as running, but now new school stuff is let the quarterback run the ball too. Opens up the game a little bit.
And a lot of coaches now will put their best athletes at quarterback. Davis Moose is going to get a rare carry, and he gets upended by Colby Russell after a 2-yard gain. I tell you what, that's a strange matchup there, because you've got Davis Moose that's all of, what is he listed at, 240, and going up against 175 pounds of Cobb Russell.
That's just unfair.
But, you know, give Cobb credit. He upended him with a tackle.
Yeah.
That's it. And I've watched Moose play over the years. Started out in youth football. I've called his name for years. Been a great football player, and now he's in the backfield. Who would have thought 5 years ago when he was playing offensive, defensive line all the time?
2nd and 8 now. Mayo. Oh, nice hole off the left side. Great block by 55. He's going to be just short of the first down, but give Jatavis Huntley the credit on the play there.
Yard short of the first down, bring up another third down. They converted on the last third down. So South Stanley's got this running game going. And like they said earlier, game control, ball control. Let's see what happens here on third down, third and 1.
Controlling the scrimmage, line of scrimmage, the clock, and not turning the ball over. That turnovers will play a part in this game, as they always do. Mayo almost looked like he got moved early, but he's going to get a first down. He got hit in the backfield by 77. Blake Fraley.
That's good enough for a South Stanley first down.
But that's a South Stanley first down into North Stanley territory at the 47-yard line. Good play there. Another third down conversion for South.
2 for 2 on this drive, as you say.
We've already run almost 3.5 minutes in this first quarter.
And this is what South Stanley obviously wants in this game. They want to slow it down, use every bit of the 25-second play clock that they can. And we'll keep an eye on the play clock. We actually have play clocks here. It's down to 5. Mayo kind of juggled it a little bit. It's going to get tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Garrett Clark that time.
Yeah, Mayo tried to go to the left side after that mishandle. But I did notice the play clock was down to 2 before they snapped the ball. So there again, they're trying to burn all the clock they can.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
That keeps it out of the other team's hands.
I know, keep that North Stanley offense off the field.
So they give them a gain of 1. We'll call it 2nd down and 9. And South Stanley's sent Lofton out to the right and Colson out to the left on each time, and they haven't even thought about passing the ball yet.
And now they will throw to the near side, and it's sort of bounced up to Tony Lofton. And
yeah, if that had been a reverse or lateral, it would have still been a live ball, but he did have some forward momentum on it, so that'll bring up a third down, 3rd and 9. They're 2 for 2 on their third down conversion so far, but this 3rd and long is going to be a little bit different. And who knows, this may be 4 down territory already.
Well, we know South Stanley is a team that, like you say, for the reason he says that is because South does not like to punt, is known for its fake punts that it's run many times over the season.
Oh, yeah, Charles, we've seen that a lot this year.
Little high snap this time. Mayo straight up the middle. Garrett Clark says no, along with Drew Little, number 22, and he celebrates the play.
Met him right at the 45-yard line. We got to stop it.
What do you say, guys? Are we going to go for it?
I got a holding against South Stanley.
No.
Well, I think you back him up.
At 10, you get better punted away.
Yeah. I think you Well, you can force them to make a decision here on 4th down or send them back.
4th and 7, or
let's see what they do. It will be declined.
So now the ball spotted on the 44-yard line. South Stanley sends the punting team in. Number 75, Brandon Crump, does the kicking for South. Been doing it all year long.
That's a wise move. Try to pin him back as deep as he can.
Well, they've run nearly 5 minutes off the clock. They'll spread it out. I would not. I wouldn't sell out for a punt return necessarily
absolutely.
until it actually goes back there. Pretty good punt. End over end, kind of a wobbly punt's going to take a sort of a neutral bounce right at the 24. Boy, you're not going to get a lot of bounce off this turf tonight.
Not tonight. We had a little rainstorm about an hour and a half before game time, and it come down pretty hard there for a while. I was sitting out in the parking lot. We had about, I would guess, it's probably about a tenth to 2/10 of an inch of rain, but it rained real hard about 5:30, 5:45.
North Stanley comes right to the line, ready to go. Bailey Baker, the starting quarterback, and it will be the 1,000 yards. Well, now DJ Roan will go out and line up in the slot, but Cam Davis at 1,000 yards. DJ Roan near that, going to swing it towards DJ, complete. Stood up after a gain of just a couple.
Give him up to the 29-yard line. So that's a gain of about 3
yards for the Comets. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Good defensive stop there for South Stanley.
I believe it was number 5, if I saw right. Justin Gaddy was leading the defense, led a plethora of Rebel Bulls. I'm going to beat you to that one time this year. Baker rolls right, complete. Roan is off to the races. And he loses his footing right at the 40.
Just what we talked about, that wet field.
When you try to make a cut on this field, it's going to be dangerous.
Nobody even near him, but the field was his enemy.
They'll mark it right at the south 40.
Good play, good pass play for North Stanley. Not in their normal play repertoire, but they do have it.
Gain of 32 on the play. 1st and 10 now from the 39.
So if they've done nothing else, they flip the field.
And somebody jumped, but no flag came in. Now a flag does.
Late flag.
Oh, that was sneaky.
Well, they didn't call it initially. The right side of the line. Right side of the line moved. That was an interesting adjudication of that particular play, just because.
So they'll make it 1st and 5 after the penalty. The quarterback slapped his hands real hard together.
And so did the wide receiver. So did L.J. Rush on his side, and it kind of almost prompted, possibly, at least visually, it looked like prompting.
Oh, absolutely.
Inducing them to come off sides. Going to swing it to Garrett Clark, complete. Gets wrapped up. Justin Gaddy once again.
Pass is complete.
Luke Morton was also
33, Garrett Clark.
helped out on that particular play.
So now North Stanley's got the ball. Brings up
2nd down.
2nd down and about 4 now after a gain of about a yard.
Actually, they'll give him 6 yards. They'll bring up 2nd down and 4 at the 34 of South Stanley. Oh, Cam fell down.
Made it the line of scrimmage.
And ran into Joey Dorco and Jatavis Huntley.
Hands off to number 20, Cameron Davis.
Stop right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 3rd down now.
But I think they'll actually give him a yard to the 33. Will make it 3rd and 4. But what an athlete he is. He actually stumbled and still had the wherewithal to get up, get the handoff, and get a yard. Just shows the talent of that young man. Ooh, going a hard count. Nobody moved. Ooh, Baker's pass is knocked down by Dorco. What a play by Joey Dorco.
Made that basketball maneuver almost. So that'll bring up a 4th down now. We'll see what North Stanley's going to do.
Well, when you're 6'1", 205, and you can jump on and you have the leaping ability that Joey Dorco has, it just, that's a hard pass for any quarterback. You have to be 6'6" to kind of make that pass, really. Or I don't even know that anyone could.
All right, so they're going for it on 4th down.
And it's DJ Roan off the right side. He did not get it. Going to give credit to number 20, Elijah Still.
Moose coming in there also. So South Stanley will take over on downs. Be 1st and 10. And I'm trying to see where they're going to spot the ball.
On the 31, 32. At 31, actually.
Give them the 31-yard line.
So with 4 minutes and 58 seconds left in the opening quarter, both teams have had the ball. Neither team has found pay dirt. South punted away, and North turns it over on down. But it was a good part of the field to go for it, too.
Yeah.
You're not going to gain much with a punt there anyway. Mayo, and now Marcus Green is in the backfield, and it's going to be Mayo off the left side. Oh, he's got some big room. First down and more.
Give him a gain of about 11. Number 20, Cameron Davis, in on the stop for North Stanley, but not before he gets 10 plus.
I'll tell you, the South Stanley running
12.
game is on fire.
South is getting the push up front. That's where you see who's winning a game. It's all obviously it's the scoreboard, but it's the line. Who's getting the better push on the line? Is the defense back on their heels? Is the offensive line back on their heels?
Yeah, remember South Stanley had 3 runners over 100 yards last week against Albemarle.
Certainly did. In Jaquez, Tony Lofton, and I believe Marcus Green was the other one. Going to fake. Now we'll give to Green on the delayed give. Is he upended by, I believe, L.J. Rush.
He gets about 4 yards on the play.
Number 36, Marcus Green.
And we're talking about the runners for South Stanley, the rushers. Chris Mayo was out last week. So you count those 3 running backs we just mentioned from last week that gained over 100 yards and add Chris Mayo to the mix. They're going to have a good rushing attack. And let's see if North Stanley can counteract that. And on the second down and about 7, we're going to see what we can do here.
Yeah, minus C.J. Clark.
South is under 4 minutes left in this opening quarter. As we said, it's going to be a fast game, and it's going to be, I think you're going to see teams with less possessions, and that's why each possession becomes that much more important. Quez is going to keep it, and he is going to get tackled. Beautiful play by Dylan Udy.
Yeah, Dylan Udy and in there on the stop initially come in with some help from some of the other North Stanley defensive players. Lost now back outside to the 43-yard line and bring up a 3rd and 11. They were 2 of 3 on their last possession. On the last possession on 3rd down. Let's see what we can do here on a 3rd and long.
But you have to love Dylan Udy, all little 5'7" of him. Makes the solo tackle, or at least slows up Quez long enough.
Yeah, he's the littlest guy out there.
He absolutely is, but he is also, and forgive me because of the Grease theme tonight, he's fast as Grease Lightning.
Oh, good story.
Well, had some movement on the back.
Mayo.
And got another flag at the line of scrimmage thrown from the back judge. Or the referee, rather.
Dylan Udy on the tackle. Let's see what the penalty is. They'll mark the ball. He only got it about a yard.
Let's see.
It's against South. Probably another decline. I see Brandon Crump coming on to punt. No, they're going to take the penalty.
Carter Terry is over there saying, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing?
So they're going to back him up about 10 yards. I'll give him 5 yards.
It's a 5 yard. I don't even. Did you see it?
It was a false start.
False start. Okay, it was like illegal formation, I think, at that point, since they let the play.
Yeah, one of the guys in the backfield leaned forward a little bit too much. So now it brings up 3rd down and about 16 or so. Moose back in the backfield along with Mayo.
Taking a lot of time off that play clock. Is down to 5. Moose almost moving forward at the snap of the ball. Cook is not going to make it.
It took about 5 comments taken down.
Cook on the keeper tries to go around the left side. Gets him about 3 yards, but way short of the first down. So Brandon Crump's going to come in and punt again for South Stanley. Ball control. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. No score yet. And the only, I don't know if you want to call it a turnover or not, but North Stanley did give it up on downs.
On downs, yes.
But there again, they were in a field position where if they'd have punted, they'd only gained 10 yards because they probably went in the end zone.
Baker is 3 for 4 already for 37 yards. Cook is only 1 throw, 0 for 1. Ooh, the snap bounced and almost got blocked by Wes Reynolds. Going to roll out of bounds around the 30.
They're going to stop him right at the 30-yard line. So North Stanley will take over 1st and 10 on their own 30-yard line on their second possession.
with 1:39 left in this opening quarter.
Fast quarter.
So North is passing a little bit more than normal.
But you can see what their passes are, too.
Yeah.
2 of them were short passes. It brings the defense in, and then he tried to hit one a little further downfield.
And he'd had a great run if he hadn't slipped and failed with the turf toe.
I think he probably had 20 more yards before he was going to have to deal with a tackler. Now Baker fakes, in trouble, steps up, and Davis Moose gets him right at the line of scrimmage.
Moose.
No gain on the play to bring up 2nd down and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
South Stanley's defense this year has been really doing some running up to the line right before the snap of the ball. They've done it all year long. Sometimes they actually go in, and sometimes they just stop.
It's a 3-5 defense, and they blitz from every angle, and it's the toughest part is trying to pick up which way it's coming. DJ Roan gets a good block from Davis. 45-50, look out. He's got speed to burn. 45-30, 20. He is gone. See you later. Touchdown. North Stanley Comets, no flag.
Wow. Did you see that break around the outside, Charles?
He really ran. He got him a good block down about the 40-yard line. Another one at the 45, opened up the lane for him, and down the field he went. South Stanley could not catch him up from behind. So with 52 seconds left to go in the first quarter, North Stanley's going to come in and try to add the extra point.
A 70-yard touchdown run. Wow. By DJ Roan.
And that was after he got stuffed on the first play. So number 32 in for...
That's Levi Oliver. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 52.2 left. North Stanley draws first blood and leads 7-0.
That brings your score.
Back on Stanley County Monday Night Football, Charles Curcio, Brian Carter, and Marty Walter. DJ Roan. It was an innocent enough run to start with. It was just a little something simple off to the left side. Cam Davis.
Very generic. And
Cam broke him with the first block, but then the left side of the line just opened it up. And then when he can get ahead in speed.
Nobody can South Stanley could catch him. Not from this side of the field anyway.
I'm running the camera. It was hard for me to keep up with him.
Oliver boots it. High end over end kick. Lofton is going to watch it bounce into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20.
Just barely into the end zone. So it'll come out to the 20 for South Stanley.
That'll be a touchback for the Comets.
In their third possession, trying to counteract the score by North Stanley with 52 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
And you think South Stanley's going to have to put the ball in the air at some point just to try to open. And it's almost sort of a backwards way. Usually you use the run to set up the pass, but in this case they might need to pass a little just to spread the defense so they can run. They've been running effectively.
They've been running effectively.
Yeah, but there's at moments. But then North packs it in, and that's the point where South needs to try to get the ball outside in space, I think.
They've been sending Colson and Lofton out wide on every play, but only tried to pass one time.
Mayo off the left side. They're just keying on him right now.
No, it's number 33.
Called him Garrett. It's Garrett Clark. Almost called him Dwight Clark, as in former San Francisco tight end Dwight Clark. Wrong Clark, but
so
good play.
Loss of 2 on that one to bring up second down.
So we lost him this year, didn't we?
Yes, we did. I believe that.
He went to North Cabarrus, didn't he?
I believe that. I have to look that one up. I don't honestly remember. Well, I don't want to say something and swear. Oh, Curcio said, yeah, thanks.
It's like, thanks.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, pal.
So there's about a second and a half difference between the play clock and the...
South's going to have to run a play. Let's see how aggressive they play it. Mayo straight up the middle. Just North Stanley is just getting through there. That was Drew Little that time.
Big 74 for North Stanley also on the tackle.
So we are through one here at North Stanley's Orange Jeffrey Stadium with a score. North Stanley 7, South Stanley nothing. And it is noisy here, to say the least, on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Charles Curcio, Stanley News and Press, Brian Carter, Carter Video Services, Marty Walter. joining us on our broadcast tonight, and what a game it's been so far. But very fast first quarter.
Fast first quarter, 7-0 for North Stanley, favoring the North Stanley home crowd. Seats are packed.
This place is packed out on the north side.
So here it is, 3rd and 12 to start the second quarter, and Cook's going to take it to the right side.
And runs into Garrett Clark. Garrett Clark literally just stood his tackler up, scooted him over, and then...
Yeah, just took him down.
And no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down.
Number 3,
South Stanley's going to have to find a different tact.
They're going to have to do something with the pass to open up the run, it looks like, because their first 3 series, they did pretty good.
But I think North Stanley really adjusted.
North Stanley has adjusted to it.
Well, South Stanley's had the ball the majority of this game on offense. Punt formation. And it's blocked by Wes Reynolds. And the ball is still loose.
All right, who came over
They're still fighting for it. Doesn't matter who gets it, actually. It's just... But Drew Little is still down.
That's not good.
And that's not a good sign for North Stanley. Drew Little, the long snapper and middle linebacker.
Well, there was a lot of bodies in there, Charles. I mean...
Yeah, he took an absolute wallop.
And he's... maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him.
But give Wes Reynolds a credit for the block. And the ball kind of got fumbled backwards.
Trump tried to catch it on the bounce.
Player was number 22, Drew Little.
So he's up.
Little is up, though, under his own power, which is a good sign.
But it's going to be North Stanley ball first.
Right at the 1-yard line.
South Stanley 1.
Boy, the South defense is really going to have to stand up to the challenge here.
With 11:09 left in this first half.
Couple of surges.
We haven't seen a turnover, but you could consider that really a turnover.
1 yard line.
And if not only does it completely flip the field, but as it says, you give 2,000-yard rushers 4 chances from 1 yard out. You have to like North's chances in terms of scoring from this position, barring a turnover.
Second back through.
Davis straight up the middle, and
I don't think he made it.
I don't think he got it.
They calling him short.
Yeah, kudos to the South defense.
Moose, I think, led the part of that.
No game.
Moose.
Every time. Every time he does. Every time.
I can't help it.
Unbelievable. I wonder how many times he gets that in real life, though. It's like
he probably does.
Like if you're reading the roll, Davis Moose. On the left side, this time he's got it. I think he got through. Oh, wait. Yes, there's the signal. Touchdown, North Stanley Comet. They paused for a minute, so they faked me out. But it looked like with his initial push that he just got through there.
Yeah, he went through there. He followed his back through the hole. There was nothing to it, really. From 1 yard out, you know it was probably bound to happen.
And he continues to add to his school record for most rushing touchdowns in a career. I believe that might be I've lost track, honestly. It's somewhere in the 89-90 range, I believe.
No, I believe you are correct.
It's somewhere in that general vicinity.
So Oliver's down to kick.
Extra point is up. And it is good. 10:37 left in the first half. 14-0 North Stanley. So give Wes Reynolds a lot of credit. He should get an assist for that touchdown, basically, setting it up with the block punt, and North Stanley fighting for that. Well, it really didn't matter who recovered it at that point, I guess, but just the idea of taking over at the 1 yard line. Oliver, this kick is going to be a little shorter, and it's heading towards the sideline. Lofton will pick it up. Now drops it, picks it back up at the 10. Gets run into by one player, and he's not going anywhere. And South Stanley is going to be pinned deep.
Inside the 15-yard line. It looks like it's going to be about the 14-yard line to start.
23, Laughlin
on this possession.
Reception for the Bulls.
So there's this possession. They need to get some yardage. Try to open this running game up. Do it with a pass player too. See what can get done. Looks like we're in a conference there.
In our humble opinion, of course, there may be a penalty. Was there a penalty down? Because now
I didn't see it. Wow.
North Stanley is moving back. We're moving.
Flag on the play.
Up here the kicking line.
Oh, there is. Oh, okay.
Kicker.
Okay, so the kicker was offside.
Or the kicking team was offside.
We'll do this all over again.
So the whole thing never happened.
Well, that's a break for South Stanley. They'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, that field.
North Stanley would like to have had that one, yeah. And
now they'll be kicking from the 35-yard line. And Lofton and Colson's going to switch sides.
And we know what a dangerous returners both of those young men are.
Both have returned during the year.
4 touchdowns.
And now we got a timeout.
Well, we'll take a timeout and be right back on Stanley County Monday Night Football. So we're not 100% sure of what's going on here, folks, but they moved the ball back to the 25.
Unless there was something on that tackle down there.
Unless there was some sort of, but even if it was on the tackle, they would have assessed it
from there.
From there, not made them re-kick.
Unless it's something that happened during the timeout.
Well, that's an odd one. We're just going to say that we don't know, and we'll try to find an answer. So Oliver will kick off from the 25, and Lofton's going to get a chance to return this one. High interval end kick at the 27. And then it's taken out around the 36.
And slid into the 37-yard line.
It's like he's sliding into home plate.
I think Cobb Russell initiated that contact.
So, yeah, we don't know why the ball was backed up another 10 yards. We know the first one was 5 yards on offside on kicking team. But something happened during the timeout.
But if it was 15 for something during the timeout, then it would have moved it back to the 20s using my limited math skills. Nonetheless, we will answer that question at a later time. First and 10 now for South Stanley from the 37. Quez wants to throw. Boy, he's got time to throw. Now he's starting to run out. And incomplete. I'm not sure who he was. Wait, as a flag comes out, that could be intentional grounding. 16. Morton's in the, Seth was in the area. But there is, did he not throw a penalty? He has thrown a penalty flag, and it's way downfield. Okay, I'm confused because this may be against North. This would have to be.
Drew Little is talking to the official head linesman.
Well, Cobb Russell is standing next to the back judge, now walking away around the 47 of South, and I don't know.
Offensive pass interference? I'm guessing.
Pass interference. I think you just called it. You were absolutely right.
So that'll back them up 10 yards and make it first and he's going to mark off 15. First and 25.
All the way back to the 21. The drive actually started at the 37. So it's one of those spot fouls. And it makes it first and 26. Two unusual rulings by our referee crew tonight. Quez now trying to get out of trouble. Wes Reynolds had him and now complete. Oh, what a hit on Luke Morton by T.J. Roan. Oh,
back up.
Baby.
Oh, man, what a hit.
Oh. And he got right back up, but
he's hit hard.
My goodness.
So that's up to the 40-yard line.
They got 20 yards.
They got cheers from the North Stanley crowd.
Confused
over there.
It's 2nd and 6 is what it is. It's a gain of 20 on the play.
Great catch and everything.
They needed 27 and they got what a hit.
2nd and 7.
And give Morton credit for popping right back up. Quez wants to throw again.
This thing hanging on to it. Quez has got smothered.
Right, and Wes Reynolds, and then a flag, and that's going to be against Quez, I believe.
Yeah,
he shoved. Wes still had a hold of him, and I believe they're going to
like conduct South Stanley.
They're going to get South for it. Yep.
Conduct against South Stanley.
So he lost 6 yards on the sack. The penalty is going to mark it back even further. So the good play, 20-yard pass play, just evaporated for the Rebel Bulls.
Yeah, because that's a dead ball foul. So the pass play or the sack took them back to the 35-yard line. Now they're going to add some more yardage back to that on the other penalty. It's going to move the ball all the way back to about the 20-yard line. I think it's about the 21 before they're going to finally spot it. So it's 2nd down and long again.
Actually sitting right on the 20. So in his 3rd down, it went from 1st and 26 to 2nd and 6. to 3rd down and 27.
Back and forth.
And you want to talk about back and forth we go. To and fro.
Counted. It's 3rd down now.
And it's 3rd and 27. 9:18 left here in the second quarter. South Stanley trailing North Stanley 14-0 here at Orange Jeffrey Stadium. 3 wides to the near side. Mayo, fumble on the play. Mayo gets it right back, but they're going to lose more yards.
Ball comes loose, put back up by number 15, Mayo.
So penalties and a fumble.
They were on a good drive, penalties.
Killed the drive on this one. After getting good starting field position after the penalty against North Stanley on the kickoff. Now Brandon Crump in to try another punt. Hope this time they don't get bounced to him, so he gets a good punt off.
If you're a South Stanley fan, of course.
Yeah. Of course.
Cobb Russell and DJ Roan, dangerous return men. Almost another block punt. High, beautiful, driving punt. DJ's going to get away from it, and South will down it around the 35, 36. They'll mark it at the 35.
Great punt. Make up for that last one. They got blocked. North Stanley's going to start at about the 34, 35-yard line.
8 minutes, 17 seconds left.
As we hear the North Stanley band playing a little Ozzy Osbourne, they sound great as you.
Oh, it was a Crazy Train.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Frank and Beth Poulos, they do a great job with the band.
Terrific job. 1st and 10 for the Comets now. Clark is lined up in the backfield. He's going to block for Cam Davis, and Davis says hello to Joey Dorco. And Davis moves. There you go.
Oh, missed it.
You missed it. You missed it. You missed your chance.
Number 20, Cameron Davis.
Missed it by that much.
Zig Breeden.
Number 33, Joey.
I think they're going to give him back to the original line of scrimmage, so no gain to bring up 2nd down.
That was a good defensive play for South Stanley after the last 2 possessions for South. Try to get the ball back.
South might want to. South got the 3-5 defense going right now.
Yeah,
good lead block by Garrett Clark for Davis, and he's going to get a 1st down. He got another great block. What a job by Cobb Russell.
There's the late flag.
Now, let's see what the flag is.
Out of bounds.
Could be a late hit out of bounds.
All the way down to the South 45. We'll see what the penalty is. And it is, as you say, a late hit out of bounds. And penalties are starting to mount for South. I thought for a second Cobb might have held on that play down here on the near side, but he did not. Dead ball, personal foul against South. That's an extra 15 yards from the 45
penalties
down to the
really
30.
Hurting South.
Yeah, it almost looked like a hold back there about the 45-yard line by Cobb.
Well, it was either a block, a hold or a good block is what it was.
One or the other.
It was either one or the other, you know. The difference between a good block and holding is perspective. Yes.
Perspective and the yellow hanky.
That's true. Now going for it all. Baker threw it for Roan. Got him. Touchdown, North Stanley Comets. Wow. What a pitch and catch that time between Baker and DJ Roan. He got behind 2 South defenders.
Great pass play. And all this has been set up by the run threat.
I mean, he was covered, but he was.
But he got behind him, and it was the throw. The throw was right on the money. He led them just far enough. Boom. And we have a 20-0 ball game.
And Oliver coming in to try to add his extra point.
Now Oliver's looking good on the kicking end of the ball.
Levi, of course, one of the standouts on the soccer team this year. Snaps. Good. Kick is up. Kick's a little low, but I think he got it across. He did. 7:27 left. Second quarter. North Stanley 21. South Stanley nothing. With a little We Will Rock You from, and it is the weekend of Bohemian Rhapsody being released on that. Can't wait to see that movie.
Yeah,
a little Queen as we rock out here. North Stanley is rocking right now. They are on fire, up 21-0.
With 7:27 left to go in the first half. Kicking again. The South Stanley offense is stalled out. And the penalties have just about killed them in this first half so far after their first 2 drives. So let's see if they can make up for some of those losses here starting on this possession.
High end over end kick. Colson will take it. Boy, he might have stepped in the end zone.
Yeah, it looked like
at
he
the
did,
1 yard line. Gets by 1, and Carter Terry makes the tackle at 25. And there's some extracurricular and a nice display there between Colson and Terry. Terry picks him up off the deck, but their illegal block in the back against South will mark the ball backwards.
So penalties again has killed them.
They'll be holding against the Bulls.
If they got a chance in this game, they got to get a handle on those penalties.
Yes. So that'll be about a half the distance.
To about the 10-yard line of South Stanley.
After the penalty, they'll be back to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 from the 10, 90 yards to go. So starting well deep in their own end zone, or their end of the field. South Stanley's got to get something going here, if nothing else, just to flip the field for a few.
6 penalties, 66 yards in this game already for South Stanley.
And that about counts as out all their offense the whole game.
Mayo, Carter Terry meets him. Drew Little back in the game. And
picks up a yard on the play.
Maybe a yard on the play, give it 2nd down and 9 after that initial hit. They're giving it to Mayo, but hoping maybe he can break one.
The problem is that North Stanley is getting a push on the defensive line right now.
And that's usually what South Stanley
and South Stanley is, they usually, we've seen South this year several times. Their line play last week against Albemarle was very impressive, especially their defensive line. I thought the pressure that they put on the quarterback, and that may be something that South needs to get back to.
They got Moose in the backfield again.
On defense, and now Jaquez will call timeout. We'll take it with 6:29 left in the first half.
They're bringing 2nd down, South Stanley on their own 12-yard line.
It's going to be 2nd down and 11 now, or excuse me, 2nd down and 8 for South at around the 11-yard line.
Cook called that timeout as the play clock was running out. Try to save a few yards.
He's going to turn and wants to throw, wings it out there, and it is knocked away at the last second. And now almost a little shot by Tony Lofton taking down Cooper Hogan. But give the credit to Joseph Benfield for the breakup on that pass.
A little bit overthrown, but I think Lofton could have caught up with it if the defensive player hadn't been in his way. So he was covering him pretty tight.
And he was in double coverage too,
So they'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 now.
So South has not been able to find wide open receivers either. I think that's been a struggle. Not only they're trying to pass, they're definitely putting more of an onus on it right now. But
so we got Moose lined up in the backfield along with Mayo, I believe.
Cook's 1 of 3 now. And this time he throws, and Tony Lofton goes down. And I'll tell you what, Benfield made a nice play. He eased up a little because he could have really finished that one and put Tony right out of the game, but he didn't.
Yes.
But it's also one of those plays that looks dangerous enough that if they had defenseless receiver rules, that would have been a place where it could have been called.
4th down and 8 now, and Brandon's back near his old goal line to punt again.
And the DJ Roan, Cobb Russell standing at about at the south 47. So once again, North Stanley has dominated field position in this game. And we'll probably get another decent one here. It's a high end over end, going to take a bounce. DJ will get away from it. Drew Little and Seth Morton just said hello to each other at the 45.
Hello, how you doing?
I don't know what happened there. All I saw was two bodies flying in the air. They're going to mark it at the 49.
It'll be 1st and 10, North Stanley at their own 49-yard line with a 21-point lead, 6 minutes left to go in the first half. On this senior night here at North Stanley.
Yeah, I noticed the cheerleaders are in their grease.
Grease for peace.
Yeah.
Pink ladies.
That's right.
Pink
I
ladies.
almost forgot.
Look at me, I'm Sandra. Anyway, never mind.
Don't give up your day job.
Wait a minute, this is my day job. What are you talking about? Baker's going to throw
out to the flat.
Complete. I don't think he's going to make any yards out. Excuse me, it's L.J. Rush.
And he's going to lose about 5 on that one. The initial hit was back at about the 44-yard line.
Number 5.
I think that was Gaddy once again.
So loss of 5, bring up second down and 15. Good defensive play for South Stanley.
Yeah,
they need to get on the blitz package again.
Well, you know, get it. They got after it that time. They got after Baker, and they sort of stuffed that play. They hadn't been, you know. Of course, now watch North draw them in, and then try to try to throw this one long. South showing blitz. They will blitz. They're going to throw the near side complete to Clark. Nice tackle that time by number 9, Chase Kimry.
He got back some of that yardage lost on the first play, so they'll bring up a third down.
Clark is getting up slow.
Well, 3rd and 11.
They'll get back to just shy of where they were before. They'll be, as you say, 3rd down and about 11, maybe 12.
That's where South Stanley really needs to stop the Comet offense.
South definitely needs a stop. Baker's going to give to Davis. Davis off the right side. Still going. Still going. He's going to get a one-man wrecking crew.
He's still on his feet.
Oh, and that could have been a punch. That was either a punch or was a very close shove.
That was
extremely close.
Yeah, very close.
That's about a 13-yard.
That's right. They were about to take his jersey off.
Well, Cam was I think he may have taken a little exception to the holding of his jersey after he was well out of bounds. And you could see this game is so important to both of these teams because you could see the emotion on the faces and the reactions of these players right now.
On the defensive side, Jatavius Huntley had him near the line of scrimmage. He got out of his grasp, and it took several South Stanley players to get him down after he got started again.
He's elusive, to say the least.
There he goes again.
Now get another run, 30. And down around the 26, maybe 27. Oh,
that's about another 12-yard gain for another North Stanley first down. Then we got a timeout, officials timeout.
We have an injured player.
78. Jacob Parker limping off.
First down.
We'll mark it at the 26, as you said, so 13 and a first down, and now
it's number 78.
Jacob Parker limping off.
That is Davis's 7th carry of the game for 50 yards. As a team, North 122 yards on just 10 carries. Baker is 6 of 7 for 65 yards.
Wow.
North Stanley's offense is absolutely firing on all cylinders right now.
All 8 cylinders.
That's true too.
1st and 10 at their south 26-yard line.
Roan will come in motion. He's going to get the jet sweep. Nice block from Davis. Moose is going to make the solo tackle around the 20.
Moose.
Kirby had the first shot at him, but Moose come in and cleaned it up, but not after he got about a 5-yard gain over to the left side.
Actually, more like 6, so they'll bring a second down in about 4 as we've reached the 4-minute mark. North Stanley up 21-0 and has the game well in hand.
Still a lot of football to play.
And like we said earlier, ball control. And who's controlled the ball?
North Stanley has.
North Stanley has controlled it. South Stanley's had the clock, but they're not doing anything with it so far.
North has kept South. And now we have a timeout going to be taken by North Stanley with 3:41 left. We will take one as well. Back here on Stanley County Monday Night Football, Charles Curcio, Stanley's the press, Brian Carter, Carter Video Services, and Mr. Senior, Marty Walter.
Glad to have you here, Marty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
2 wides to the far side this time. Baker fake. Who was a bump and go and a lot of contact between
no
Morton
interference, no flag.
and Cobb Russell. And as you say, no flag is forthcoming.
And Russell is
but I do have a flag at the 15-yard line.
Okay, but non-related to
not related to that pass.
To the pass. And I think that's a good no call, honestly. There's some contact down there. But both teams, I'm not a fan of calling every single
receiver downfield.
I'm not a big fan of calling every single contact unless it's egregious.
I mean, let them play.
Let them play.
And actually, on that one, South Stanley had the inside on it. And the offensive player, Kobe Russell, became the defensive player trying to keep the ball away from him.
Absolutely, flip rolls.
And Morton on the coverage. So now it's second down and about 9 after the 5-yard penalty.
I can see that the two fan bases are having a cheering war at the moment. So not so completely expected, of course. They both love their teams. Cam Davis gets shoved out of bounds.
Way out of bounds.
And I'll tell you what, Garrett Clark was blocking Jatavius. I think it was 55, Jatavius Huntley. It was downfield. What a battle between those two individuals.
Justin Geddes, the defensive player for South Stanley, that rode him out of bounds. Bring up a third down.
But look at
3rd and 3.
Look at how well North is blocking downfield, not just at the point of attack, but 10 and 15 yards downfield. They're still on their blocks.
You've got to stay with the play.
Yeah.
Stay with your assignment.
3rd and 3 now. South So's blitzing, they're coming. And Davis is going to get stopped by Chase Kimry right at the 25. And that's almost a run blitz right there.
He timed that one perfectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chase Kimry.
Perfect timing on that blitz. So now it's 4th down. And
I think this is a North Stanley will go for it here. I think definitely. I don't know Levi's field goal range, obviously.
Bring up 4th down from the Comets.
Well, his last extra point was kind of low. So.
And that might factor, and being on a wet field as well. And South is bringing the house this time. And Baker keeps it, and he is gone. 10, 5, he may score. No signal yet. Touchdown, North Stanley Comets. What a call by North Stanley, and what a play by Bailey Baker.
Charles,
unbelievable.
Marty, I totally missed that because it faked me out. I mean, I missed
4th and 7.
Wow.
The quarterback fakes a handoff and goes right up the middle.
Unbelievable.
Almost basically untouched. That faking the cameraman out.
I know.
I had my binoculars on and I was watching it. South brought every linebacker they had. They were bringing the house.
I saw a stop there. A stop.
Yeah, absolutely, but he just sort of darted right around him, and the extra point by Oliver is good. 28-0 North Stanley. 2:42 left in the first half. North Stanley is rolling right now, up 28-0 with 2:42 left.
South Stanley's got to do something on this possession, or this ball game is going to be about over.
Incredible act of deception by Baker.
I think that might have been Tony. I'm not sure.
I think it was lofted around the 25.
So he's up to the 25, 26-yard line. Let's see where they finally spot it. Stretch the chains out. 26-yard line.
About the 23-yard line.
First and 10.
26-yard line.
I think the air is starting to get just a little bit cooler.
A little bit of chill coming in.
It's starting to, and with the dampness in the air, it just makes it even that much chillier, frankly. But after 7 weeks of being
burning up,
drop dead hot,
it's a nice relief.
You want something in between the two, though,
It goes from summer to winter. And
Quez going to throw the near side complete to Colson, and Colson is immediately tackled,
eat up
by a host of Comets,
and they just kept coming. The hits just kept coming.
Led by Mr. Kip-Up himself, L.J. Rush.
Oh, that's a loss of about 5 yards on. Yeah, because they're going to spot the ball at 21, so 5-yard loss.
4 yards on the play. Brings up 7 down.
Clock running 2:09. I believe South has maybe one timeout left. The Bulls are just reeling right now.
3 to the right.
Quez
is looking.
Now he gets trying to get rid of it and does. Whoa, beautiful throw. He's got 2 men behind. Oh, it was all right through the hands of number 17, Luke Martin. He was behind the defense and had nothing in front of him but open field.
That hurts.
He was looking at a 6-pointer right there.
That had touchdown written all over it. And what a throw, by the way.
That would have changed.
Not to be lost in that play, but what a throw by Quez.
Quez was on it.
That was
money
a
on that one.
absolute rocket.
Because that was a good, 20, 10, 20, 30 something.
More, 30, 40-yard rush in the pass, in the air.
Wow, that's a heartbreaker.
Load him up and do him again.
Now tries to scramble, and he's going to get a first down and a whole lot more. Still on his feet. 50, and I'm ushered out of bounds around a 47. And I don't see any flags down.
No flags. Now, this is the first time South's been in the North Stanley end on the other side of the 50-yard line.
I believe that is right.
Since about the second possession of the ball game.
The second possession of the game they got down. They'll mark it at the North 47. Clock is stopped. He went out of bounds, so the clock stopped at a minute 43. A 32-yard run that time by Jaquez Cook.
And that pass play, although it was incomplete, might have opened up a little bit of that run.
He now has 34 yards on 5 carries.
Quez
going for it all. What's it? He's got Colson open, and it's just overthrown.
Overthrown and out of bounds. Bring up second down and 10.
But now the passes are coming early and often. And he was behind LJ, to be honest.
If that ball would have been a little bit further to the right inbounds.
If he'd have led him a little further inbounds instead, I think he threw it a little too far laterally to his left.
Because even if he'd have caught it, he'd have been out of bounds when he caught it.
3 wide receivers. There's nobody on Lofton up on a lone man on an island up on the top of the field there. But Cook's going to get a block from him, and here goes Cook. 30, 25, and he's going to get knocked out of bounds. And fans screaming for a flag, and they get one.
Baylor is forced out of bounds by number 42.
Cook on the carry down to the
20, yeah, and penalties. I think we have a late hit, if I had to guess.
2 flags on the field.
Just waiting for a determination. I believe he was out of bounds, and then the contact came just a beat after that. Personal foul against North Stanley, and it will be half the distance to the goal. It should put the ball around the 10-yard line or so.
Well, that's a great opportunity for the Bulls.
And that's exactly now. South Stanley has a chance to get a score and get some momentum going into the halftime locker room. And I believe, I thought for a second they may have called timeout. They have not. It was just some substitutions.
Out of bounds, so they stopped the clock with 1:26 left to go. South Stanley's best field position the whole night.
Play clock is down to 9.
You better hurry up.
They've got to hurry this. They want to get this play off. Now we have a timeout. North Stanley calls a timeout. We'll take one and be back. Critical juncture here for South Stanley. 1st and goal from the 10. A minute 26 left, trailing 28-0, as you can well see on your TV screen with our picture-in-picture on this end. Quez trying to get around the left side. Look at the play by one-handed play. I think Garrett Clark might have had his pants, a handful of pants there, and made the play just about one-handed, and a little discussion at the end for everybody as well.
A little handful of something, and now we got to stop.
If it was wrestling, it would have been a handful of tights, you know.
We're going to have a timeout in South Stanley. Yes, timeout to South Stanley with 1:07 left to go in the first half.
And we'll be back. 2nd and goal now for South Stanley at about the 15-yard line.
Got plenty of time.
Mayo off the right side gets a nice lead block, but he's going to be tackled around the 12, maybe.
The ball on the right-hand side for the Bulls.
They need to hurry up the line. We're under 1 minute.
Well, they needed one play, I think, just to run the clock down so North wouldn't have any time left, because it's 4 to score at this point. They only got about 1 yard anyway on that game, so it's 3rd and goal from the 14th. But in this case, a little of space is not a problem. It gives you a little more to work with down there.
That's correct.
So let's see what the South Stanley Rebel Bulls do. Quez rolls, avoids one tackler, now throws. In the end zone. Seth Morton. Or excuse me, Luke Morton, number 17. Right in his
Well, that's twice tonight.
That one was right on the number.
You got to catch those.
So to bring up 4th down, and an interesting.
Quiz is looking at the official like something happened in the backfield, and I wasn't looking.
I'll be honest, I was not looking as well. South will go for it. 25.8 seconds left. 4th and goal from the 14. 3 wides to the near. Mayo the lone back. North rushes 4, now rushes 2 outside backers, and Quez will go down in a sack.
Nowhere to go.
And who did it? Dylan Udi.
Udi on that sack. They'll go on down. First one again to North Stanley. 19 seconds left to go.
Dylan Udi is making a case right now early for my player of the week. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
A loss of 10 yards and effectively putting that drive to an end.
Well, with 19 seconds left, guys, that's like
I think North Stanley just plays it conservative, takes a knee and gets the ball to start the second half.
That's correct, because South Stanley started the ball.
So let's see indeed what North Stanley will do.
And they're going into the... No, they're in shotgun formation.
They're going to take a shot. Baker winds up. Got 2 receivers down there, and it is incomplete.
Incomplete. They'll bring up a second down with 13 seconds left.
That was in the triple coverage.
Well, he also had 2 receivers out there. So
2 receivers, about 3 or 4 defensive players. Just about almost a jump ball.
Interesting call.
It shows confidence.
It shows confidence. I also don't know. You've just made a great defensive play. Emotion-wise, you just take a knee, go to the locker room, and But
Bailey's looking at the sideline for the play call, and it's looking like they're trying to go for another one.
Clark is going to line up as a tight end.
Rush from South.
They're looking for a screen pass to Davis, incomplete. That was nearly dangerous.
Dorco almost had him a pick 6.
He really did.
Just over the fingertips. Like you said earlier, Joey Dorco can kind of jump up there a little bit. If he'd jumped a little bit, he probably would have had that ball. But it surprised him, I think, passing it so quick.
Well, and now if you're North Stanley, you have to try to get a first down here, because if you take a knee, I think South might have 1 timeout left. They could call timeout and make them have to punt and then try to press it.
Who knows what happens on a punt? Already had 1 block tonight.
It looks like they're going for it again.
Run up the middle.
Roan on the right side, 25, 30, puts his shoulders down, still on his feet, 40, 45, still going, and knocked out of bounds at the 40 at the final play of the first half.
Maybe hit the head.
Down the sideline on that one.
He did, and he got a huge gain and almost broke it. He was about 1 player away from breaking it. So we have reached halftime here at North Stanley's R.N. Jeffrey Stadium with a score. North Stanley 28, South Stanley nothing. Brian Carter, Marty Walter, I'm Charles Kirkfield, and we are Stanley County. Monday Night Football.
What am I going to learn?
Coursework will develop a student's ability to communicate complex technical issues related to computer hardware and software in a manner that computer users can understand. Coursework includes computer operations and terminology, Microsoft applications, operating systems, database, networking, security, and technical support.
What are my career choices?
Employment can be found in entry-level positions with businesses, educational systems, and governmental agencies that rely on computer systems to manage information, whether working at a desk or in an IT position. This is a flexible curriculum that can be customized to meet the community's needs for informational technology.
What is the purpose of the advisory committee?
The advisory committee is comprised of employers and employees from Stanley County. As a vital link between the college and the community, these committee members are important so that we can determine what students need in order to compete successfully in the workplace. Their willingness to meet and share ideas is crucial to the quality and success of our instructional endeavors.
Why Stanley Community College?
Here at Stanley Community College, we feel that college is not the ultimate destination. It's a place of discovery that equips you with knowledge and skills to journey on to a rewarding, successful future. Call us today to schedule a campus tour or visit us online to learn more. At Stanley Community College, we're changing lives.
What am I going to learn?
Students in the Emergency Medical Science program learn knowledge, skills, and attributes to prepare them to take the state or national registry paramedic credentialing examination. Students learn how to assess and treat patients while applying critical thinking skills to manage a wide variety of medical and traumatic emergencies. Skills include airway management, IV therapy, medication administration, ECG interpretation, and many other assessment and treatment procedures.
What are my career choices?
Paramedics may work in a variety of healthcare settings and will find a wide variety of shift schedules, working from ambulances operated by EMS systems, fire departments, hospitals, and private ambulance companies. New and emerging roles for paramedics include working in hospital emergency departments or serving public health needs at agencies that have embraced the community paramedic concept and mobile integrated healthcare.
Why Stanley Community College?
Here at Stanley Community College, we feel that college is not the ultimate destination. It's a place of discovery that equips you with knowledge and skills to journey on to a rewarding, successful future. Call us today to schedule a campus tour or visit us online to learn more. At Stanley Community College, we're changing lives.
We're back on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Charles Curcio, Stanley is the press, Brian Carter, Carter Video Services, and Senior Marty Walter here tonight at R.N. Jeffries Stadium. And what a game we've seen so far. A dominant first half performance by North Stanley.
North Stanley has pretty much owned the ball in the first half, other than the first two possessions by South Stanley. They got stymied by penalties and lack of offense after that. So North Stanley has took it over 28-0 in the first half, and they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
North Stanley has 15 carries tonight for 189 net yards, 3 touchdowns. Baker 6 of 9 through the air for 65 yards and a touchdown as well. On the other side, South Stanley 23 carries, 84 net yards, only 2 of 8 through the air for 15 yards. North has 10 first downs, South Stanley just 6. We talked about third down conversions. South started 2 of 3, but they're now 3 of 10. 3 of 10 on third down. But they have twice as amount of time of possession. They've had the ball nearly 16 minutes.
Well, they talk about time of possession as controlling the ball, but they've had the ball, but they haven't been able to do anything with it. And the penalties have killed them.
Of course, the scoring summary, 1 touchdown in the first quarter was Damon Roan Jr.'s 70-yard run, and then North scored 3 times in the second quarter. Cam Davis with the 1-yard plunge after the block punt. Bailey Baker's touchdown pass to DJ Roan, and then, of course, Baker's own touchdown run. Here's Roan now on the kickoff return, 20. He tries to get away from Morton and will not at the 23. Nice open field tackle.
Seth Morton on that stop. He had an open field over here on the left side of the field, on the other side of the hash marks. He was trying to get there, but Seth said, no, thank you. So it'll be 1st and 10. North Stanley looks like about their own 22-yard line after everything gets set.
Yeah, Seth has been his kryptonite tonight for Rome.
The Morton boys, Luke and Seth, have both made a name in this ballgame. Trouble is, Luke almost had a few receptions.
Now a catch by L.J. Rush. He gets away from South, and whoa, baby, what a hit by number 55 for South Stanley, Jatavis Huntley, and L.J. Rush is still down.
He's not getting
What
up.
a wallop.
We're seeing some heavy duty
We have
hits
seen
tonight.
some laying of the lumber, as it were.
He's up.
So he's up. So it'll be
He's
1st
shaking
and
his
10
head.
North Stanley after that gain up to the 36-yard line.
A gain of 14 and a first down, and a scary moment. I mean, LJ, he hit him very high up in the shoulder region, I think, or maybe further down on the torso.
Could have knocked the breath out of him.
Could have knocked the wind out of him just a minute. Yeah. Could have been much worse than it turns out that it was, but I'm sure he's feeling the effects of that still.
Oh, yes.
3 wide receivers this time, 2 in the backfield. The split backs, it's Roan and Davis. And it's Davis, gets the block ahead from Roan. Huntley, just about a solo tackle on Cam, and never knocked him down, but he stopped the forward progress.
Picks up 2 on the play.
A gain of 2 to bring up second down and 8.
Yeah, after the forward progress, and we got one South Stanley player slow getting up, Justin Gaddy.
Gaddy's going to hobble, off the field. He has had a busy night for South's defense.
So they never stop the clock, but now they get the play clock started.
Davis again, this time he's trying to cut to the left. Gets a good block from 55. And look at Davis go. Look out. 30, 20, and he's going to get ridden down at the 9-yard line. Torrey Colson saved the touchdown.
Wow. Torrey Colson saved that touchdown for South Stanley.
Marker at the 12. There is no penalty. There is a penalty marker down, though, at the 39, back this way, right in front of one of the North Stanley coaches. It's hard to see from our vantage point.
Unsportsmanlike against North Stanley.
Interesting. Was it a dead ball foul? Because it would have been after.
Know.
Waiting to see.
Well, looks like it's coming back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct
against North, and that's going to negate what was a good run.
It looked like, I don't know, maybe Rush was pleading his case with the head linesman.
They'll mark it to the North Stanley 46.
I'm trying to decide where they're marking off from, and 2. So that was 15 yards from the 39, like he said, where the flag was laying.
So it'd be from the South Stanley 39 to the North 46, and it's after
down.
It's
still second down, so second down and 1.
Straight up the middle, first down.
Up to the 49-yard line. Just short of midfield.
That's good enough for a comment. First down.
Chase Kimry in on the stop, along with Elijah Capel. They're going to spot the ball right at midfield. 10:45 into the third quarter. Again with North Stanley with 2. We're going to send 3 wideouts. Roan's going over to the right side in the slot.
They'll go run and shoot kind of look. Now Roan will come in motion, as you say. Baker back to throw. This time he's going to go down.
Quarterback sack
by Joey Dorco, along with number 7,
Nate Kirby. So that's a big sack for South Stanley's side. Spot the ball back at about the 36.
30, actually more like, 37 maybe?
No, man, going to move it to 37.
A loss of 13 on the sack. Second down and 23.
So that was a big play that South Stanley needed to try to change some momentum in this ball game.
That they needed desperately.
Yes.
Showing blitz on the outside. And they will blitz the linebackers on the outside. The pass is complete to Roan. He just falls down right at the line of scrimmage.
Field tackled him on that one. That's the second time I think Roan has slipped.
Yep. Second
Wasn't
time.
him that caught the pass earlier and slipped after
After a long run, absolutely. You are correct. And I went out on the field. We went on the field, of course, in pregame, and I went out there just to take a look at it at halftime. It's still very slick. It's not super wet in terms of puddles, but it's got a texture to it that's still very slick on top.
So now it's third down and 22 from North Stanley.
And this field has great drainage, probably one of the best fields in the county.
Taking their time, North Stanley is.
5 on the play clock.
Now Clark comes in motion.
There goes.
And they didn't get the play off in time.
So that'll be a delay of game.
Tackle 5.
That'll make it third down at about 27 after the 5-yard penalty.
Clock is stopped now. 8:50 left in the third. Comets ahead 28-0. South got a stop on North's offense on the first drive of the game, but have not really done much in terms of stopping them on the other drives in that first half.
That's correct. South Stanley's defense has been lackadaisical since that first and second drive.
Just not been able to stop the run. Oh, I might have been offsides. Looks like Jatavis might have moved. Davis, oh, what a hit by Joey Dorco.
Dorco hitting Davis.
Davis on the carry.
And
Maybe picks up
they're
1
going to
yard,
spot
picks
him
up
at the
4th down for North Stanley.
34-yard line maybe. So it'll be 4th down.
And forever.
And forever.
Tackle made by number 30.
4th down in downtown Albemarle at this point.
So a nice stop by the...
Torrey Colson back at his own 30-yard line to get the punt.
And South gets the stop that they needed. And that's kind of the point I was making. Thank you, Brian, is because what I was saying is that South really hadn't had much of a stop like this. Nice punt this time by Garrett Clark. Clark kicks it over Colson's head, and Colson's going to have to get away from it. And South is going to be pinned back at the 15-yard line. What a punt.
Great punt. So that was from the 30 back to the 15.
15-yard line of South Stanley.
With 8:07.
55-yard punt with 8:07 left to go in the third quarter. North 51.
Actually, as you say, 51-yard punt, but 51. You get 50 and above, that's still good.
Hey, for high school,
yeah, that's good. It was a good punt too.
So South Stanley's going to get their second possession of the half.
3 and out the first time. Marcus Green has not had a lot of carry. Dylan Udi with another tackle for a loss.
Number 2.
A loss of a yard.
The tackle for the Comets in the backfield.
And not only is the front four for North Stanley, that would be Wes Reynolds. 51 is Grayson Louder. In a minus without C.J. Clark on that defensive line is still having a heck of a night. Give credit to 53 Jamarian McCoy and Garrett Clark, number 33 on the other end.
Yeah, McCoy's anchoring down in the middle on the nose tackle or just slightly off to the right. They're doing
a real good job, and then the linebackers are really finishing things off as well. 2nd and 11.
2 wide outs.
And look at the push that time McCoy got. And Quez had nowhere to go.
Great defense. Got number 56 for South Stanley, Colby Allman over on the left side, slow getting up.
Loss of 4 on the play.
So they're bringing up a 3rd down and 14 after that. And South Stanley has got to get something going to get in this ball game with 6:50, just under 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 3 wide outs to the right and 1 to the left.
We've talked about North Stanley's offense all night, but their defense has also been at the same level of high level of play, stopping South on that late drive.
They almost had it. They had it 1st and goal inside the 10.
Oh, what a shot that time! I think
now,
that might have been.
That was Udi.
I think that was Udi again.
Udi again
on Marcus Green.
He tries to go up the middle. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and long, 4th and 9. So Brandon Crump's going to come in and punt it off again. Another 3 and out for South Stanley. Looks like Roan and
Cobb Russell.
Russell going back, got their own 45-yard line to get this punt.
Let's see how much pressure North brings. Of course, we know South loves to run the fakes. Never be 100% sure. A low kick this time.
Low kick was taking
a bit of a south bounce and rolled dead at the South 49. So it's a 34-yard punt net.
North's going to take over 1st and 10 on the South 49-yard line. Great field position to start their
1st and 10.
3rd possession of the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you bought a 50-50 raffle ticket, get them out at this time.
The first 2 possessions didn't yield anything for North. On the second possession, great quarterback sack by South Stanley to send them back, and they never did recover from that. The 1st and 10 from their own, from the South 49-yard line.
But again, with the exchange of the ball, exchange of possession, North really comes out on top in terms of where they're setting up to start.
Yep.
Davis now around the right side. Joey Dorco rides him out of bounds around the 42.
And rode him out of bounds. He did. He looked like they slid the last 2 yards, sliding out of bounds.
It might have taken out somebody on the chain gang, too. Again, we want to send our thanks to Stanley Community College and Andre and Michelle and all the folks that make this broadcast possible.
It's
I
hard
think
to
this
believe
is
we're
year
18.
I believe this is year 18 of Stanley County Monday Night Football.
Has it been that long?
It has been that long.
2nd down and 2.
Wow, you're getting old, Charles.
I know that. Toss to DJ this time. Whoa, what a takes the shot,
right
keeps going. And now finally is going to be finished off in the backfield.
Horton hits him, and then
by Gaddy and Kimry.
Come in and finish it up. It's going to bring up a 3rd down.
But he started that sort of.
And got a South Stanley player slow getting up. Looked like that's the other Horton, Luke.
Actually, Morton. You said, although there's been a ton of Hortons that have played in South Stanley, so
Horton.
Yeah, there's a that's one that's not difficult to get confused.
The South Stanley player's still down. Now up.
And now it is Joey Dorco. And that's somebody that South can ill afford to lose moving forward. We talk about the importance of this game in terms of county implications, conference implications, but we still have a lot of playoff football left, and both of these teams have playoff games in front of them and possibly home games in front of them, definitely for North Stanley and possibly for South.
I talked to the South Stanley athletic director earlier today, and he said they had several postings on the west, for the west side and the east side of the state championship, and they're 8 and 9, somewhere in that neighborhood on their positions now, so it could end up with a home game still.
Roan and a big run up the middle. Look at the speed of DJ Roan. Beats everybody to the end zone. Touchdown. North Stanley Comets, no flags down. A 44-yard touchdown run for DJ Roan.
DJ Roan, great carry up the field. Once he got about 20 yards beyond him, couldn't nobody catch him.
44-yard carry for DJ.
And that's just, that just is what another illustration of the depth of this team. Having 2 running backs like Davis and Roan, you can just bring them out. You can put them on there at the same time. You can switch them out. You can line them up in the slot. It's got to give defensive coordinators sleepless nights to try to figure out how to stop North Stanley. And the extra point is up.
Oliver's kick is good.
And it's good. 4:50 left in the third. North adds to its lead, up 35-0. So the beat continues to roll on as Zombie Nation Marty dances to a little Zombie Nation up here. 35-0. North Stanley is a machine offensively tonight and defensively for that matter. Lofton going to be backed up to just about his 1-yard line. Gets to the outside.
Turns it left, turns up.
And got through momentarily down around the 27.
Nice run.
So that's about a 26-yard run back. Vertical yardage. He runs also about 26
Probably
yards.
Run about 50 yards to get there, yeah.
So it'll be 1st and 10. South Stanley's
take over on
ball was down 35-0 with 4:40 left to go in the third quarter.
It looks like we have somebody prepared for some more rain.
But
I think we're out of the rain zone. Wouldn't you think, Marty?
Maybe so.
Let's hope.
I see what you're talking
Let's hope, yeah. High snap. Ooh, he just did get it down. And he's going to go down in the arms of Garrett Clark and Wes Reynolds.
I'm walking back about 5 yards on that. Back to the 22-yard line. To bring up a 2nd down and 15. The center snap possession to the quarterback has been a little bit of trouble for South Stanley all year.
Rolls to his right this time, loads the gun and fires, and it's complete at the 30. And oh, what a hit from behind at the 35.
Drew Little.
And that was Seth Morton on the reception.
Pass is completed, number 16.
That was actually, yeah, as you say,
Number 22, Drew Little.
Up to the 35-yard line, so it'll bring up third down in about 2. South Stanley needs to convert on this third down.
It needs to maybe move a little more quickly than their want would be.
Yeah, right now, but it's not.
The clock is their enemy by far, even this late in the third. Little shovel pass this time, complete to Marcus Green, but he's going to lose yard. Oh, and another battle between, and that is going to get a flag. Jatavis Huntley was engaged with Drew Little, and Huntley is probably going to get a personal foul on the end of this.
And who was the tackler? Mr. Udi.
And we got a dead ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a personal foul against South, against Jatavius. The two of them were engaged in a blocking battle. So the shovel pass actually lost 3 yards, but then
I was going to spot the ball back somewhere around the 15-yard line. Mark it about the 17.
I'd say around the 17 if I had to guess.
So that'll be
4th and 20.
And the down's going to count, so it's 4th and 20.
Yeah, it was a dead ball foul. It was after the play.
Yeah, 4th and 25.
So now Cam Davis and Russell standing at right on the end, right in the soccer face-off circle in the middle of the field, waiting for Crump's punt. Play clock is at 4. Play clock is at 2. Just do get the snap off, and it's another block punt. I couldn't see. Picked up at the 15-yard line by Drew Little. He almost returned it.
He's inside the 5.
And Drew Little, he's a happy man. Look at that celebration, man.
Number 22, Drew Little. Thomas take over first and goal.
So he took
Special teams.
He got that around the 10-yard line, and then, like you say, down to the 5. Yeah. So with 2:47 left.
Second time Crump's had one block tonight.
We're 5 yards away in this game. We, as an entire fan base and media base covering this game, I might add. This game is going to be 5 yards away from going into a running clock. That's I have to be honest about this. I didn't expect that coming into this broadcast.
No way. I thought at most maybe a 17-point or so difference.
Davis is going to get stopped by Chase Kimray right around the 1-yard line.
Number 28, Cameron Davis.
That's going to bring up a second and goal.
For a gain of a few yards.
Chase Kimray, like you say, they're going to stop. But with 2:30 left to go in the third quarter, and we're coming up at a 42-0 mark, that means the whole fourth quarter could have a continuous clock.
Well, I have to tell you guys, and you probably agree, I mean, this is one of the toughest South teams we've seen in a long time.
No question about it. Very talented since probably 2012.
And he's
Davis straight up the middle, touchdown, North Stanley Comets. So with 2:09, once we get through the conversion and the ensuing kickoff, we will have a running clock should this extra point go through. I should say with that proviso.
Yes. And like you said earlier, Oliver's not their normal kicker, so anything could happen. Kick is up and it's good. 42-0 with 2:09 left to go in the third quarter.
That brings your score with 2 minutes, 9 seconds left in the...
All right, we're back. 2:09 left to go in the third quarter, and it's going to be a continuous clock after this kickoff. North Stanley up 42-0 over South. And back deep.
Going to be Colson. Oh, it goes over his head and it's going to be
end zone.
Touchback.
So that'll bring it out to the 20, but like the official says, keep the clock running. Playoff implications, this will put South Stanley probably, after North Rowan gets finished, third place in the conference.
Assuming, of course, that North Rowan wins out, which, you know, they've got they have to make up the game with Northmore. And I believe they have
South
Davidson tonight. So all things being equal, North Rowan would finish tied with North Stanley. So it'll be co-Yadkin Valley Conference champion.
How is that handled, Charles?
There is no tiebreaker. I guess the tiebreaker will be head-to-head for only the playoff, but not for the conference championship, as it were. They don't break it for those particular things. You have to win that outright. Jaquez goes out of bounds, and a flag comes in afterwards.
Late flag. And again, with the clock still running, even though he went out of bounds on the flag.
Personal foul. Yeah, against North.
Against North Stanley, so that's going to give them a first down. Up near about the 43-yard line, I think, when he gets done walking. South Stanley gets their first down in a while. A continuous clock with 46 seconds left to go in the third quarter. They may get one more playoff before the end of this quarter.
North Stanley's ground game tonight. These numbers are incredible. 25 carries, 260 yards. Quez looking for everything, incomplete.
Out of the reach of everybody.
It was a battle between Tony Lofton and L.J. Rush.
Rush actually had the inside position on him.
Yeah, Rush was going for it.
That'll bring up second down.
15 seconds left to go in the clock running.
Jaquez now 4 of 11 for just 25 yards. Baker is 8 of 11 for 80 yards through the air. And South Stanley will not run another play. And we will go to the third quarter with your score. North Stanley 42, South Stanley nothing on Stanley County Monday Night Football. We're back on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Charles Curcio, Marty Walter, and Brian Carter. Starting the fourth quarter, Quez wants to throw on second down. And the pass is incomplete. And what a shot by Cooper Hogan.
Right on.
Well, I have to tell you, what threw me off is the cheerleaders are throwing footballs in the air. Suddenly, I saw footballs going about 4 different directions, and that really sort of rather disconcerting.
Well, a lot of those cheerleaders have some pretty good arms over there.
Yeah, they do, absolutely.
Got to
pass
throw
was
one up
intended for
towards
Luke Morton.
the press
Luke
box.
Morton and the defensive guy got there. The ball and the defensive guy got there at the same time.
They all arrived at the same moment.
And unlike you, I'm watching these little white footballs floating up through the air.
Well, and as you
Right
learn
in front of the camera.
as you learn in physics class, those 3 things can't exist at the same spot time matter, the same place.
Quez is tiptoeing the sideline.
Got a first down, still on his feet. And we'll go down around the 33. Good run for Jaquez Cook.
It looked like he stepped out of bounds about 10 yards earlier, but
a 22-yard gain, so that'll give him first down inside the
22-yard exactly. Nice job. My computer does it for me. I don't need to think anymore.
Well, this is not his first rodeo.
I don't need to think.
He's sitting there typing.
I don't
I'm
need
watching
to
him thinking and adding
Old
this
school,
subtracting
old
school in my mind.
Yeah, I try to think as little as possible. No, really?
Oh,
yeah.
that's dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
Beat me to the punchline.
First and 10.
If I beat it to you, it's not a punchline then. Cook back to throw again. Gets away from pressure momentarily, now flings it, and it is incomplete at the feet of Morton.
One of the Mortons and Lofton, between the two of them, that'll bring up second down. And again, with the 42-point difference, we got a continuous clock and 10-10 on the clock running, and now second down and 10.
And you know, this crowd is not thinned out on the north side. I mean, they're staying to the end.
They kind of, I think they know what's at stake, and with North Stanley winning, I think they're waiting for a certain post-game ceremony. Because
be.
you know what we have with us here tonight.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I do. Cook on second down tries to go up the middle. Oh, wow, does he get hit hard. Drew Little has been laying the lumber out there, too.
Sturdivant in there with it. So they'll bring up third down and 13. That thing you're talking about, is it bigger than the bread box?
It might be. Heavier, too. Let's not talk about bread. I miss bread.
9:15 clock running.
3 wides to the near side this time. Cook on a bootleg right. Gets away from 1 tackle, gets away from 2, gets away from another tackle, and finally will go down inside the 30, around the 28. A determined run by Jacquez Cook.
4th down, though. About 4 yards to go for the first, and I imagine they're going to go for it.
Absolutely. With the clock continuously running.
Try to get rid of that goose egg on the
I
left-hand
think
side
that's
of the board
one of the
up there.
things, that's the thing that's left for South Stanley to try to, as you say, get the points on the board and avoid the shutout heading into the playoffs. And we're planning, Brian, are we not, to have some playoff coverage? We may have playoff coverage.
Depending on everything pans out.
Cook rolls to his left on 4th down, is in trouble. And he's going to go down in the hands of guess who? Dylan Udy.
So they'll go on downs, 1st and 10 to North Stanley in South Stanley territory.
Well, that's hard for me.
8 minutes left to go.
Player of the week. I mean,
Dylan Udy is one of my choices.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm going to.
You'll have no arguments for me.
I think definitely on one side of the football, and even maybe Bailey Baker on the other side, just because Baker has had a tremendous night, through the air and has really directed this offense.
Oh yeah, led this team. A real leader.
Clock running, 7.5 left. Roan up the middle. I think it's stood up by South's defense.
Give him a gain of about a yard or so. That's one of the smaller runs for DJ all night long. He's broke several long ones and a few pass receptions.
He's probably going to take it easy this last part of the game.
His longest run, of course, was his 70-yard touchdown. He has 154 yards on just 7 carries.
154. That's and
22
math. That's about 22
that's
yards.
22 yards a carry. You are absolutely right.
Second down.
And I beat you to it because the computer beat both of us to it. Better living through technology. Don't always believe it. 2nd down now for the Comets.
Hand off up the middle.
Christian Barber, and Barber is going to get a 1st down. I think Davis's night may be over.
Number 28, Christian Barber with the ball.
So that's in the South Stanley territory at about the 48-yard line.
Gain of 11 and a 1st down. Clock continuing to run. 6.5 left, and North Stanley very happy to just slowly run this clock out.
Barber played in the JV game last night, and he made a great plays in that ball game also.
Who won that game?
North. So the 1st and 10 on South Stanley territory, and Barber gets the handoff again.
Maybe a couple of yards. Justin Gaddy in on a stop.
Picks up 2 yards.
A lot of jumping jacks. I'm sorry, I'm just mesmerized by the jumping jacks, and not just, you have cheerleaders doing jumping jacks, you have cheerleader dads doing jumping jacks, and now I think you even have fans doing. There are fans doing jumping.
Everybody getting in shape.
I'll tell you, at some point, if the entire north sideline is doing jumping jacks, that would be fitness gone wild right there. I guarantee you.
2nd down and 8 with 5:30 left to go in the ball game.
North Stanley will go to 9-2 on the season. Will drop one of those losses and be 9-1 seeded into the postseason, and will probably not play until the day after Thanksgiving.
That's correct, because next week they're both off because of
the extended season.
The extended season. By the way, those teams down there in the eastern part of the state have been playing 2 games a week for the last 3 weeks to make up the difference in the schedule.
How do you play that much football in that little of a time? It's just exhausting. It just sounds. You know what? It sounds exhausting.
It is.
I mean, if we had to cover 2 games a week, it would be exhausting.
Oh, don't talk to me. I cover 4 to 5 games a week. Ooh, just not for this. For our Stanley News and Press, of course.
Barber slips in the middle with the
ball spotted about the 44, 45-yard line.
What is
45 with 4th down.
No, Cam Davis is like doing like a horse with his foot.
Well, he you know,
must have some muck in the bottom of his shoe.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Throws his hands up in the air like, I don't know why exactly.
You couldn't see this, but Brian was over here wiping his feet.
Looking like a fool.
So North's going to punt the ball.
New at all. Clark's only punted. This is only the second punt of the night for North Stanley in my recollection. Nice high. It's a little short, but it's very high, well covered by North Stanley. South will not get a chance to return this ball at the 20-yard line.
Clark's punt will be down on the 20-yard line. South Stanley.
3:45 and Clark running.
Over, first and 10.
It's not. It wasn't a very long punt, but it was enough to
high enough
to
for
allow
coverage to get down there.
And that's you see that sometimes, of course. You see punt kickers that have these big legs, and that's wonderful. But if you outkick your coverage, you're not doing your team any favors.
That's right. Height is one thing.
Yeah.
Distance is the other. And when you can get both of them together and give the coverage team time to get down there, the receiving team's going to go nowhere with it.
Wes on first down. Moves to his right a little bit. Now in trouble. Throws, and that's going to get picked off at the 24-yard line. And by Cobb Russell, and Russell's wrestled down by a Morton, I believe.
It'll be North Stanley ball inside the 15-yard line, about the 14. He got a timeout on the field.
Player down for South Stanley.
So the clock will stop with 2:51 left.
And that's number 16.
Seth Morton. He was in on the stop there after the interception.
The receiver became the defensive player.
We've seen that several times tonight, actually, I believe.
This was the first time that it actually became the defensive player because of the turnover.
And if my memory serves, that's the first turnover of the game.
First true turnover. I mean, one would argue that turnovers on downs and other things work, the punt block as well. But true turnover, interception or fumble, that's the first turnover of the game.
And he's up on his feet and walks to the sidelines.
So Luke's going to have to sit out on the player.
So both of these teams will continue on. They may not be in the same brackets in terms of 1A or 1AA. That remains to be seen according to school sizes and all those other. I've tried to figure those components out to try to predict who's on first, what's on second. I can't do it. And East and West is longitude. When I have to take a map and a globe and a protractor out, then I'm kind of I really don't know what to do. Backup quarterback is in now, and he'll give, I believe, to Dylan Udy. It was Dylan Udy.
Number 11, Luke Shaver on the handoff.
And quarterback is number 11, Luke Shaver. Gain of 3.
Down to the 10-yard line. We'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 7.
A strong game for Mr. Udy tonight.
And of course, if you're watching this on Monday night or on any time online, we know that West Stanley's game with Mount Pleasant was moved to Monday night at 7 o'clock. That's going to be for the Rocky River Conference Championship. And of course, Albemarle and West Montgomery has been moved to this coming Thursday. Before the snap, we have a penalty marker down.
One in the backfield on the line.
I believe a false start, yeah.
Clock still running with 1:55 left to go.
So some important games left for those two teams. Of course, West Stanley with a chance to win its first outright Rocky River Conference Championship. The last time, Brian, here, this will test your memory, was 2006. Do you remember who the quarterback for the West Stanley Colts was in 2006?
Sturdivant?
That would be correct.
Yeah.
Juan Sturdivant, who's now an assistant coach at Anson County under former North Stanley head coach Ralph Jackson. Barber now straight up the middle, get a few yards.
Barber on the carry to bring up third down. We were focused on the drum major. I watched him at halftime. This is a great band.
Oh, he was doing some things with his baton or whatever.
Yeah.
the old school drum major, you know, back 20 years ago when they used to get all prancy and everything.
Absolutely, yeah. I love the outfit too. It's the greatest. It's an homage to the Greatest Showman, of course.
And he just looks like he's got the character for it.
You got to have moxie. You got to have charisma, and moxie to do that. No doubt about it.
50 seconds remaining, and North Stanley's milking the clock, play clock.
Udi straight up the middle. Dorco and Gaddy. Ooh, he almost got back. He almost got past him, down to the 5.
Udi with the carry up the middle.
And might have time for one more play.
Well, it's fourth. It's probably going to be 4th down and about 1. Yeah, he's just short of a first down. And they're going to hold the clock, and I believe that is going to be the last play of this game.
Yep.
Yeah, the referee has held the clock, and that's going to be it. North Stanley has won the Stanley Cup once again, and we'll get to present that in just a few minutes with tonight's result. And also wins a share of the Yadkin Valley Conference Championship with a win. The final score, North Stanley 42, South Stanley nothing. We'll be back with the postgame show on Stanley County Monday Night Football. Yeah.
That's something. Number 1 D. Let's go. Bring it in, Charles. Bring our coach.
Hold on, don't move.
Let her get one from me.
City, state, the state of Virginia. Sir.
We're here on the postgame show on Stanley County Monday Night Football on a jubilant North Stanley field here, and we're going to talk to our players of the week. No surprise, Dylan Udi and Bailey Baker. Dylan, let's talk a little bit first defensively. You did not allow a point to any county team this year, and you finished this with a shutout. Talk about what this team's defense has been like. You guys have been strong all year.
Our front lines really stepped up and applied pressure all season, and our DBs have stepped up and not give up as many touchdowns near as last year.
And I know that you guys had to step your efforts up a little bit without CJ in the lineup, but what was that effort like tonight?
We had a couple young people come in and fill his job just fine.
What does it mean to you to win this cup, keep it here at North Stanley, and to win a share of the Yadkin Valley Conference?
It's great. It feels amazing.
And now Bailey Baker on offense had touchdown pass tonight. Talk about the development of this offense. I think it's just gotten so strong, and tonight was just almost a perfect effort.
Yeah, we keep a good job of keeping teams on balance. We got 2 great running backs, and all our wide receivers can go get the ball. Our line gets us good time to throw the ball. So, I mean, you really don't know what's coming. So we can run anything at any time, and they just don't know what's up.
And see, that's the thing. Yes, that's right. And you started with a pass, and I thought that opened up the game immediately for you guys as well, especially in that second quarter.
Oh, yeah, of course. They're definitely keen on Cameron, him being here 4 years playing against him, bringing in Damon. It's always what it is.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this team and to help be a part of this cog, of this machine that got the Stanley Cup and got to share the Yadkin Valley Conference title? What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. My first year being here at North, we're bringing home the cup in baby blue and the conference.
Well, I think this is yours. We'll be back. Back here on the postgame show on Stanley County Monday Night Football with North Stanley head coach Scott Crisco. Coach, you don't give up a point to any county team, and you win the cup on your home field. How special? First, let's talk about just that part of tonight's win.
Man, that was very special, and that's something we've been talking about since the beginning of the season. This staff right here, man, they got it rolling. They put a game plan together. We stick together. We put a game plan together, and they execute it every day in practice. Everything, offense, defense. I couldn't do it without these guys right here. That's the honest truth. But it feels great to do it here at your home. Last year we did it our way. Feels good to do it at home in front of our fans. This team deserved it.
Balanced effort once again tonight. It just seems like that both sides of the football just so strong tonight. There's really very few mistakes.
Yeah, and offensively, like I said said before, with DJ and Cameron back there, and then Bailey back there with that threat. Coach Davis did a good job of balance tonight on that.
And Coach, I made a mistake earlier, and I'm going to correct it now. You've won the Yadkin Valley Conference, absolutely. There's no chance to lose it. What does it mean to win the conference, win the cup, and be able to move forward in the state playoffs with a home game?
That's another goal we had set that we can check off. That's we got many more goals to go. We got the second round coming up. Our goal is to play in the state championship.
Thank you, and thank you, coaches. We'll be back on Stanley County Monday Night Football. It's been another terrific season of Stanley County Monday Night Football. We have seen some terrific games. We've seen close games. We've seen drama. We've seen terrific play. And we finish our regular season with the Stanley Cup being presented to North Stanley for their 42-0 win over South Stanley. From our partner Brian Carter of Carter Video Services and for Marty Walters sitting in tonight, we appreciate his efforts as well. Thanks to everybody at Stanley Community College. We appreciate your efforts. I'll see you in the Stanley News and Press on Sunday for tonight's story, and I will see you in the newspaper 3 days a week, and we will see you in the playoffs. Hashtag Team Tate.
Football is a 20th century technological struggle.
And what I seen was this whole raft of people a-setting on these two banks and looking at one another across this pretty little green cow pasture.
Football has hitting, clipping, spearing, blocking, punting, late hitting, unnecessary roughness, and personal foul.